Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss past paper for mechanics paper 4 May June 2020 paper 42. Question 1. A tram starts from rest and moves with uniform acceleration for 20 seconds. The tram then travels a constant speed v meter per second for 170 seconds before being brought to rest with uniform deceleration of magnitude twice that of the acceleration. The total distance traveled by the tram is 2.775 km. A. Sketch a velocity time graph for the motion stating the total time for which the tram is moving. So this is the graph. The first part of the graph, the tram moves with uniform acceleration for 20 seconds. It's a straight line. And then for another 170 seconds, the tram moves with constant speed. So this is horizontal line for the constant speed for 170 seconds. And then after that, it is brought to rest with uniform deceleration of magnitude twice that of the acceleration. So it takes only 10 seconds for the tram to come to rest. So the total time is 200 seconds. For part B, we are asked to find V. We are going to use total distance is equal to the area under the graph. The total distance traveled by the tram is 2.775 km. So we convert into meter, it will be 2775 meters. And the area, we are using area of the trapezium. The sum of the parallel sides 200 plus 170 divided by 2 times the height of the trapezium, which is V. So solving this equation, we can find the value of V is equal to 15. For part C, find the magnitude of the acceleration. We are using acceleration is equal to V minus U divided by time. 15 minus 0 over 20, and the answer is 0.75 meter per second square. We continue to question 2. Co-planar forces of magnitudes 20 Newton, P Newton, 3P Newton and 4P Newton act at a point in the direction shown in the diagram. The system is in equilibrium. Find P and theta. So since the system is in equilibrium, we can say that the net force in x direction is equal to 0. In x direction, we have 20 cos theta in the positive x direction and 3p cos 30 degrees and also p cos 30 degrees both in negative x direction, while 4p has no component in x direction. So this is the equation in x direction. This is the first equation. First equation is 20 cos theta is equal to 2 square root of 3p. And then we can also say that the net force in y direction is also equal to 0 because the system is in equilibrium. In y direction, we have 4p and 3p sine 30 in positive y direction, while in negative y direction, we have p sine 30 and 20 sine theta. So this is the equation in y direction, and we simplify into 5p is equal to 20 sine theta. Dividing the second equation by the first equation, we can cancel both p. Here we can cancel both p. So 20 sine theta over 20 cos theta is equal to 5p divided by 2 square root of 3p. So we can cancel p from this equation, and also we can cancel the 20. So on the left side we have tan theta, and on the right side we have 5 divided by 2 square root of 3. So theta will be tan inverse 5 over 2 square root of 3, which is 55.3 degrees. And then for the value of p, we can either use the first equation or the second equation. In this case, I'm using the second equation because it's easier. Replace the theta with 55.3 degrees. And then finally, we can get the value of p, 3.29. Question 3. A particle of mass 2.5 kg is held in equilibrium on a rough plane inclined at 20 degrees to the horizontal by a force of magnitude T Newton, making an angle of 60 degrees with a line of greatest slope of the plane. See the diagram. The coefficient of friction between the particle and the plane is 0.3. Find the greatest and least possible value of T. So I redraw the diagram, and then I resolve the T in X parallel to the plane and Y direction, which is perpendicular to the plane. Tx is T cos 60 degrees, while Ty is T sin 60 degrees. And then we also have W vertically downward, and we can resolve it into X direction parallel to the plane, and in Y direction perpendicular to the plane. Wx is 25 sin 20 degrees, while Wy is 20 cos 20 degrees. And then for the normal force, the system is equilibrium in Y direction. So I can say that the net force in Y direction is equal to 0. In Y direction, we have the normal force Ty and Wy. The equation in Y direction is N plus Ty minus Wy is equal to 0. And we can get that the normal force act on the particle is Wy, which is 23.5 Newton, and minus Ty, T sin 60 degrees. And then the friction force here is the coefficient of friction 0.3 multiplied by the normal force. And then for the greatest value of T, it means that T as big as possible, but the system still in equilibrium. It means that the particle is at a point of moving up the plane. Since the particle is about to move up, then there is a friction force that keep the particle in equilibrium. The friction force, the direction of the friction force is down the plane. since friction always opposes the motion. So here I draw friction force down the plane. Now this system is still in equilibrium. So we can also say that the net force in x direction is 0. The equation will be Tx, which is T cos 60 degrees, minus 8.55 Newton, it is Wx, and minus the friction force. So we can simplify the equation into this one, and solving this equation we can find the value of T. The T is the greatest value of T is 20.5 Newton. Now for the least value of T, in which T is as small as possible, meaning that now the particle is about to move downward. The diagram is exactly the same, but I reverse the direction of the friction, since now the particle is about to move downward. But remember, the system is still in equilibrium, so the net force is equal to 0. The equation is almost the same as the previous equation, but here I change the direction of the friction. So now the friction is up the plane. Previously the sign here is negative, but now I change the direction, it will be positive. Then we apply algebra a little bit, and then we can finally find the value of T is equal to 6.25 Newton. So this is the least value of T. Question 4. Small smooth spheres A and B of equal radii and of masses 4 kilograms and 2 kilograms respectively lie on a smooth horizontal plane. Initially B is at rest and A is moving towards B with speed 10 meter per second. After the spheres collide A continues to move in the same direction but with half the speed of B. Find the speed of B after the collision. So this is the diagram of particle A and B before collision. We are going to apply the momentum conservation. MAUA plus MBUB is equal to MAVA plus MBVB. So 4 times 10 plus 0 is equal to 4 times half VB, because after collision A move with speed with half the speed of B, so this one is half VB, plus 2 times VB. So VB is equal to 10 meter per second, while VA is equal to 5 meter per second. Actually the question only asks the speed of B. And then a third small smooth sphere C of mass 1 kg and with same radius as A and B is at rest on the plane. B now collides directly with C. After this collision, B continues to move in the same direction but with 1/3 the speed of C. Show that there is another collision between A and B. So this is the diagram after A collide with B. Now there is another particle C which is at rest. B is about to collide with C. Now using the same momentum conservation between B and C, the equation will be 2 times 10 plus 0 is equal to 2 times VB is 1/3 of VC, so I can write 2 times 1/3 times VC plus 1 times VC. The mass of C is 1 kg. So VC is equal to 12 meter per second, while VB is 1/3 that of speed of C. So VB is equal to 4 meter per second. There will be another collision between A and B since A is moving at speed 5 meter per second, while B after collide with C, the speed is only 4 meter per second. That's the proof that A and B will collide for second time. And then for part C, A and B coalesced during this collision. Find the total loss of kinetic energy in the system due to the three collision. So since A and B join together after collision, the momentum conservation equation will be MAUA plus MBUB is equal to MA plus MB times V. V is the speed after collision. So solving this equation, we can find V is equal to 14/3 meter per second. To find the total loss in kinetic energy of the system, we find the total kinetic energy of the system before collision. Before collision, the only sphere that is moving is sphere A. So the kinetic energy of sphere A is half times 4 times 10 squared. After collision, all spheres move with their respective speed. Here A and B move together, so we can consider A and B as one particle with total kinetic energy half times 4 plus 2 times 14/3 square, while this one is the kinetic energy of sphere C. The total of kinetic energy of the system is 137.3 joules. Therefore, the loss in kinetic energy is the initial kinetic energy of the system minus the final kinetic energy of the system after the three collision. The result is 62.7 joule. Now we continue to question number 5. A car of mass 1250 kg is moving on a straight road. A. On the horizontal section of the road, the car has constant speed of 32 meter per second, and there is a constant force of 750 Newton resisting the motion. I. Calculate in kilowatt the power developed by the engine of the car. So since the question says that the car moves at constant speed, then we can say that the net force is equal to 0. The driving force Fd is equal to the resistance force Fr is equal to 750 Newton. We can find the power of the engine by using formula P equals the driving force times the velocity. Find the speed. So the power is 24,000 watt or 24 kilowatt. Given that this power is suddenly decreased by 8 kilowatt, find the instantaneous deceleration of the car. So the power is now 24,000 minus 8,000 since it is decreased by 8 kilowatt. The driving force decreased to 500 Newton, but the resistance is remain constant. So now there is net force 500 minus 750 Newton. So the acceleration will be the net force divided by the mass. It is equal to negative 0.2 meter per second square. The negative sign here means that the car decelerates. So the deceleration is 0.2 meter per second square. And then part B, on a section of the road inclined at sine inverse 0.096 to the horizontal, the resistance of the motion of the car is 1000 plus 8 V Newton when the speed of the car is V meter per second. The car travels up this section of the road at constant speed with the engine working at 60 kN. Find the constant speed. So again, since it is constant speed, then the net force in both directions x and y are 0. But here I'm using the net force in x direction is equal to 0. According to this diagram, so the car moving up the plane, so the driving force is up the plane, and there are two other forces, Wx and Wr. Both Wx and Wr are down the plane. So according to this diagram, in x direction, the equation will be the driving force minus the resistance force minus Wx is equal to 0. So the driving force will be, in simplest form, 2200 plus 8V. And then the formula for power is P equals driving force times V. So 60,000 is equal to 2200 plus 8V times V. We have a quadratic equation. Solving this quadratic equation, we can find the value of V is equal to 25 meter per second. This is the last question for this paper, question number 6. A particle P moves in a straight line. The velocity V meter per second at time t seconds is given by this formula. A. Sketch the velocity time graph for 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 13.5. So from 0 to 5 seconds, the graph is straight line, so I just need to find the value of V when t equals 0 and also the value of V when t equals 5. But for the second part of the motion, the graph is not straight line, so here I also find the value of V when t equals 6 seconds, which is 0 meter per second. And then when t equals 7, the V is negative 13 meter per second. With the help of this table, the sketch of the graph will be this one. Be careful, the second part of the graph is not linear, it's actually a curve. Yeah, it's almost straight, but it's actually a curve. And then for part B, find the acceleration at the instant when t equals 6. When t equals 6, the equation for the speed is 36 minus t squared. Acceleration is the first derivative of v, so it's negative 2t, and then substitute the value of t with 6. the acceleration of the particle at this instant is negative 12 meter per second square. And then for part C, find the total distance traveled by P in the interval 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 13.5. We have to remember that distance is always positive. So I'm going to divide the graph into some section. This one is area 1, and then this one is area 2, area 3, and then area 4. I split this part of the graph into two areas because area 3 is actually negative, but since we are finding distance, later we will take the absolute value of area 3 since distance is always positive. So from 0 to 5 seconds, the distance is the area of the trapezium, which is 30 meter. And then from 5 to 6 seconds, we can find the area using integration. So it's integral 36 minus t squared dt from 5 to 6 seconds. The answer is 17/3 meters. And then be careful for area 3. Area 3 using integration, the result will be negative. But since this is distance, it's always positive. Unlike displacement. Displacement can be positive, can be negative. Depends on the direction of the displacement. So for the distance, we take the absolute value and we make it into positive, 19/3 meters. And then for the last part of the graph, we can use the area of triangle. Half times 6.5 times 13, which is 42.25 meters. And then total, all of them, we get the total distance is equal to 84.25 meters. Okay, students, I think we have discussed all questions in this paper. I hope from this video you can learn something. Thank you.